All right, greetings class. Welcome to our lesson on noun clauses today. Hopefully you have your books open to page 412 and we'll have our lesson. So we've been going through a bunch of different clauses this chapter, this unit. So adjective clauses, adverb clauses are both examples of subordinate clauses. Clauses, groups of words that cannot stand alone and be begun by a subordinate conjunction. A noun clause is also a subordinate clause. In this particular case, these subordinate clauses, noun clauses, also begin with a subordinating conjunction. We'll talk about some examples in a little bit. But the biggest thing, the way that it differs from adjective clauses and adverb clauses is that it serves as a noun in the sentence. So as we've learned this year, nouns, and in previous years, you've learned that nouns serve as subjects of a sentence, a direct object. It could serve as an indirect object. It could serve as the object of the preposition, and it can also serve as a predicate noun. All right, so let's take a look at some examples here on page 412. So there you see the noun clause is serving as the subject of the sentence. In this case, it's serving as a direct object. Now remember, direct objects answer whom or what about the verb. So I don't know what, telephone number. I don't know what, how he can be reached. All right, so this is an example of where it's functioning as a noun direct object. Now, as maybe you remember, hopefully, that indirect objects, you cannot have an indirect object without a direct object in the sentence, because indirect objects answer to whom or for whom about the direct object. So in this particular case, give what? The message. To whom? Claire Mahoney, indirect object. So the message would be the direct object, and then the to whom, Claire Mahoney, would be the indirect object. This particular case, give what? Message, direct object. To whom? Whoever answers. All right? So that's an example of a noun clause. In this case, whoever answers, serving as an indirect object. All right, and so then nouns also can serve as object of the preposition when it begins with a preposition. Okay, now we call this to Rafael Lopez a prepositional phrase. We would also call to whoever was interested a prepositional phrase, with the object of the preposition being the noun clause, whoever was interested. And then finally, nouns and noun clauses can serve as predicate nouns. Now, in order for it to serve as a predicate noun, remember that you need a linking verb. Linking verb will link the predicate nouns to the subject, okay? So basically, it's like they're one and the same, and the linking verb is linking that to the subject. And so in this noun example, it says, that is my intention. Intention is one and the same as that, and it serves as a noun, predicate noun. In the noun clause, that is what I intend. What I intend is the same as that, being linked by the linking verb is. So in this case, it's a predicate noun. All right, let's go through. There you see on page 413, you should have your books to that. I'm going to go through it. Top of the page, there are some words that introduce noun clauses. We know them as subordinate conjunctions. And those are the particular ones that you're going to be looking for in order to maybe help you identify which are the noun clauses. It says many words that introduce a noun clause can also introduce other kinds of subordinate clauses. All right, and so you can't just look at the maybe subordinate conjunction and go, oh, that's a noun clause. Ah, that's an adjective clause. You got to see how it's used in the sentence. All right, so like for example, that we said was an indicator that maybe it's an adjective clause, but it could also be a noun clause now. So Phil noticed that the phone was buzzing. All right, now here it serves as a direct object because look at it says noticed. Noticed what? That the phone was buzzing. And since it answers what about the verb, it's a direct object. But looky here, look at the second one. The phone that was buzzing was off the hook. So that was buzzing is giving more information about phone. Okay, so this particular case, it's an adjective clause. All right, so what I want you to do is pause the video. I want you to go through numbers 1 to 5 on your own. See if you can identify each noun clause. And is it used as a subject, direct object, indirect object? an object of the preposition or a predicate noun. See if you can do those. Actually, why don't we should we do 1 and 2 on our together, and then I'll have you do 3, 4, and 5 on your own. How's that? Let's do 1 together. Okay. All right, so I'm seeing the word that there, and I'm thinking, you know, that looks pretty similar to one of the words up here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that the telephone uses correct electricity. Okay, and so that's our clause. We know it's a noun clause because there are noun clauses in all of these. And so now we ask ourselves, okay, what part of speech does it serve as? Well, look at this verb. It says know, right? Know what? That the telephone uses electricity. So in this case, it would be a direct object. Let's look at number 2. I see the word what. I also see it up here. Okay, so let's identify the clause first of all. What you say into a phone, and then we have the verb there. Okay, so now we know that the verb's not going to be part of the clause, so we stop it right here. But notice that it is in the beginning of the sentence here, and it seems to be who or what the sentence is talking about, right? What you say into a phone creates. So it must be the subject of the sentence then, I guess, huh? So remember, your choices are either subject, direct object, indirect object, object of the preposition, or predicate noun. All right, so do 3, 4, and 5 on your own. Let's come back here, and then we'll talk about the answers. Let's see if you got it right. Look for these subordinate conjunctions that get you started. All right, so pause the video. All right, I'm assuming you paused and did 3, 4, and 5 by now. Let's see how you did. All right, so let's look. Oh, whoever, I see. Whoever is listening, okay? And now I see the word to. To, I know, is a preposition. So to whoever is listening. So whoever is listening, noun clause, is an object of the preposition. Look at number 4. Let's see, scan. Oh, I see how. So how a telephone operates must be the noun clause. Now I also see that there's a linking verb here, is. Remember what we said about linking verbs before, how they can link a noun to the subject, or a noun or pronoun in the subject. This particular case, how a telephone operates, is a predicate noun, basically replacing the subject this. All right, now look at the last one, number 5. I'm seeing a whomever. Whomever you like. Now, why wouldn't we keep on going? Whomever you like and say whatever you think. Because you have the word and here. Okay, so there's not going to be a compound noun clause, right? So when you hit a conjunction, you generally stop. But keep in mind that I know maybe some of you might be tempted just to kind of go, oh, I found the clause and now I'm done. No, you got to read the whole sentence, because look at, you have whomever and you have whatever. So be careful on your assignment, okay? Make sure you read the whole thing. Be careful. Whomever you like would be a noun clause. Whatever you think would be a noun clause. All right, and so whomever you like, oh, look at the word to there. There's that preposition, right? To is going to be a very common preposition to attach a noun clause to the end of to make it a prepositional phrase. All right, so this particular one, whom you like, that's going to be the object of the preposition. All right, and then whatever you think, that one is going to be a direct object. Say what? Whatever you think. Okay, so help yourself by asking those questions. Bottom of page 413. All right, now you thought you were done with who or whom, right? Not the case. So noun clauses with who or whom. To decide whether to use who or whom in a noun clause, first decide how the relative pronoun, who or whom, functions within the clause. So use who or whoever as the subject of a verb within the noun clause. So when it's you're calling for a subject here, it's who or whoever. So just like when we had to figure out, is it who, is it whom, we use who whenever we had a subject. And whenever we didn't, whenever we had something in the predicate, we use whom. All right, same thing here. Look at number 2 on top of page 414. It says use whom or whomever as the object of a verb or the object of a preposition that is within a noun clause. Okay, so it says whom you meant is not clear. You turn it around, you meant whom. Okay, I don't know whom you called. You turn it around, you called who or you called whom. It should be whom. So then it's whom you called. Same thing, turn it around. You called whoever, you called whomever. It's whom. You called whom, you called who. It should be whom because you're in the predicate there. All right, it's not a subject. All right, and same thing for the last example as well. So number 3, it says look for how the relative pronoun is used in the clause, not how the clause is used in the sentence. All right, so that's the key. The use of the pronoun within the clause tells you whether it's who or whom, whoever or whomever is correct. So see how it's being used. All right, let's practice this. Let's have you do 6 to 12 on your own. And basically you're trying to figure out is it who or whom again, just like you did a couple lessons ago. All right, so I'll let you do that either on paper or in your head. And let's see if you're right. Go ahead and pause the video. We'll come back. And we're back. Look at number 6. Okay, so which one did you get for that one? Okay, that one should be who. Tell me who is likely to run for that office because we're in the subject there. Number 7. Okay. Maybe you're tempted to say, well, they're in the subject there, right? Not quite. Okay, that one would be whomever. Okay, because if you turn it around and say they nominate whoever, no, they nominate whomever. Okay. Number 8, that one is a whoever. Okay, I will vote for whoever will do the best job. Number 9, you should have got whom on that one. Okay, that one might be a little bit easier because it's in the predicate. Okay, and you know that when things are in the predicate, it's a whom. Number 10, how about that one? Okay, that one's a whom. Again, it's in the predicate. Number 11, that's a whoever. Okay. Because it's in that one is in the subject, and actually it is functioning as a in that particular case that phrase is functioning, or that clause is functioning as an object of the preposition as well. Number 12, that's a whoever. Okay, and again we're in the subject for that one. Okay. So yeah, you can't always rely on what sounds the best because we don't always use it correctly, just like we said a couple lessons ago. All right, so last part, let's go through page 415. Let's go through some examples. It says write each noun clause, label it subject, direct object, indirect object, object preposition, or predicate noun. All right, so let's do number 13 together. Seeing a whatever helps them, and then I see the verb use what, whatever helps them. So that's a direct object on that one. So I'd like you to do 14 to 19 on your own, on paper, or in that, probably on paper would be better. Go ahead and pause the video and then come back and let's see how you did. And we're back. All right, so this one, I see a that telephones can be very helpful, and it serves as the subject of the sentence. 15, you should have had, there's actually 2 of them. Who will win the election is the subject of the sentence. And then I see a what. What people want to know is actually a predicate noun being linked by the linking verb is to the subject of the sentence. Okay? So there's 2 there. Again, make sure you're reading the whole thing. 16, that's just one. Whoever answers a series of questions. And let's see, this one would be an indirect object. Ask what? A series of questions. To whom? Whoever answers. And then number 17 should be whether a candidate is popular, serving as the subject of the sentence. 18, what the major issues are should be. Okay. For number 18, what the major issues are is actually a predicate noun for that particular one, because you got your linking verb be. Okay, so these 2 parts are being linked. Number 19, whoever is calling would be the example. Okay, and so give what? An answer. To whom? Whoever is calling, so that's an indirect object. All right, So some of these things you're going to have to think through. Good luck. And